God is calling his generals. This is my public service announcement. The type of generals that he is calling for in this season do not look like or even sound like those that have gone before. So he is calling for his Deborahs, but he's also calling for his Davids in this season. And David was new to this thing. When David went to give his brothers some lunch, he ended up in a situation that he didn't plan for. So he was new to this situation that God had called him to. And there are many of you who will hear this, that you don't know much about what God is calling you to. You feel that God's calling you, you know that something's going on, but you don't quite fit what you think you're hearing or seeing. And that's because God is doing a new thing and he's calling for a new sound. He has already put a new sound in the mouth of many, and he is calling for a fresh, innovative move in this season. And David was a novice in that he did not have experience in what God had called him to do. He didn't have what man would see as the natural experience to do what God called him to do, because he was a novice. He had no idea, but he had a passion. He had a knowledge of who God was. So when Saul said to David, put on, if you're going to fight, put on this armor. David respectfully put the armor on, but he had to take it off because it didn't fit him. He wasn't used to it. This wasn't something that he had done before. He was a novice. Also, David, when faced with his enemy, he was non-negotiable. He did not reason with Goliath. He was not fearful of Goliath. He did not care what experience Goliath had, because he knew what God was capable of doing, and he knew that what God had done before, God would do again. He was not negative towards those that were around him, those that had been before him, those that knew what they were doing. He still had a positive attitude towards them, but his focus remained on that which God had called him to do. It is very possible that there is a call of God on your life. He's calling for those who are novices, those who will not negotiate with the enemy, those who know instinctively that I know God's called me to do this. I'm not quite sure how it's going to happen. I'm not sure when it's going to happen, but I know that he's called me to do this. Those are the people that God is calling. There is a difference between being called of God and being chosen by God. And I need you to pay attention to this just for a moment. That you can be called of God and not chosen by God. Because the difference between being called and being chosen is the process in between. It is the process that you must go through. It's the development that you must go through. It is the fire that you must go through. It is the flood that you must go through. It is that middle bit that will determine whether or not you are chosen. Because the Bible says that many are called. There are many who God is calling. So God is calling, first of all. Secondly, God is choosing. And how do you know if you're chosen? Simple. It's how you endure the process.